So I take it you clicked on this video because you've got some money to spend on some clothing and you want to know where to shop. Well, either that or you wanted to watch something entertaining, and if that's the case, then I'll try and make this as entertaining as possible for you. I'll try not to let you down. To give you a little taste of what's coming up in this video, I'm going to be talking about my favourite well-known brands at every price point. Basically, I'll be separating brands that I shop at or I'd like to shop at if I had more money into different price tier lists kind of thing. It's as simple as that. We have got a lot to get through in this video, so I better not waste any more time. If you like this one, please do leave it a like. And now that's all out the way, let's get into the brands. So let's start off with the high-end brands first and then work our way down to the more affordable brands. So high-end brands first. These are the brands that are going to clear out your bank account and put you in a load of debt. And if they don't, then congratulations, you're doing really well in life. And the first brand I want to talk about is Loewe. Now, Loewe have always felt like a bit of a special brand to me. They've just got the X factor. I love their designs, I love their branding, and the cuts are absolutely beautiful. I also hardly ever see anyone wearing this brand, which I also really like. Maybe it's different in Spain, they're a Spanish brand, maybe everyone wears them over there, but here in the UK, I never see anyone wearing Loewe. And the other thing I like about them is they do give off a slightly odd vibe. I like brands that are a bit weird, a bit edgy, and Loewe are definitely a little bit odd. Of course, I like clothing that's simple and clean, but too clean cut gets a little bit boring, so clean cut with a sprinkle of weirdness on the top, yes please. Like, look at this coat with a deer on it. It's not that weird, but it's slightly odd, and I absolutely love it. And if the coat's too much of a statement piece for you, then they've got it in a denim overshirt as well, which I really love as well. But they've also got some very weird things like this kind of blob outfit, which is not something that I like, but I'm not going to like everything from every brand, but it's quite funny to look at. They also did a collaboration with Studio Ghibli or Ghibli. How do you say that? I've always said, well, I've mixed it up to be honest, but let me know how you pronounce it. But they've done collaborations with them, and I'm a massive Studio Ghibli fan. But yeah, I've always had a thing for Loewe. I really love the brand, and I'd love some pieces from them one day. The next brand I want to talk about is Maison Margiela, and I think Maison Margiela has a bit of something for everyone. They have their more out there pieces for the more adventurous dressers, and they have their more simple pieces for simple folk like myself. I'm not sure if I just dissed myself there a little bit, but we'll carry on. Their pieces are timeless, they're really versatile, and I think they suit my style really well. Maybe not this one, but the majority does. I'd definitely be happy with a wardrobe full of pieces from Margiela, but my wallet would be devastated. But as well as clothing, they make great footwear, great accessories, and some of my favourite fragrances as well. They're also another brand that have that slight oddness, that slight weirdness. Just have a look at that. What's going on there? But I love it. Now, the next brand that I've wanted something from for a very long time is Dries Van Noten. Dan Levy actually put me onto Dries because he always used to talk about how much he loved the brand. And I say that like me and Dan are great friends. And before you come running to me asking me to put you in contact with Dan, he has absolutely no idea who I am. I've just seen it in interviews. I just love how sleek the pieces are from Dries, and if you know me and you know my style, you'll know I don't wear a lot of patterns, but the patterns from Dries are absolutely beautiful, and I'd be very happy to wear them. But some of the pieces are unlike anything I've ever seen from any other brand, and I'd love to own some someday. And the last one in the higher end bracket before we move into the high mid bracket is Gucci. And this one might be a little bit of a shock to some of you out there, but I find myself wanting so much from the brand. Of course, some of the stuff with the green and red stripes all over it and Gucci plastered all over it, that's not for me. Get rid of that stuff. But the more simple, minimal pieces are absolutely beautiful. I also really like what they're doing with Adidas at the moment, and their current aesthetic is just very pleasing on the old eyes. So next we're going to move on to the mid higher end brands. There's two brackets here, like a mid lower end and a mid higher end. So we'll start off with the higher end and move on to the lower in a minute. And the first brand is Acne Studios. I love Acne Studios and I wear their stuff all the time. I'm wearing one of their jumpers right now. I can't help myself. I just love how versatile the pieces are, and they're so easy to wear. If you like oversized fits, crop fits, slimmer fits, what other fits are there? There's loads of different fits out there. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but they've got you covered. Slimmer fits, did I say that one? Skinny fits? Yeah, you get the idea. And even though I own quite a few pieces from Acne, that's not a flex. I've been building up my collection over a number of years, but each new piece I get from them feels just as special to me as the first piece I picked up from them. Acne are another brand that make clean and simple pieces, but they've got that slight oddness to them, that oddness that I always look out for. Just have a look at at the way they dress their models on their website. Look at this guy, and I love it. The next brand I want to talk about is Ami Paris. Now, I was actually in two minds whether to include Ami on this list or not, because I found them a little bit boring recently, but I do still love the brand. I just think they need a little bit of a revamp at the moment. I find they're just pumping out clothing with that massive heart on the chest, and yeah, I've kind of seen it too much now. I think I just prefer the less branded stuff they do, where the cut of the clothing does all the talking. All in all, the style of the brand is very in line with my own, and that's why I still love them. The quality is normally fantastic, the fit is normally fantastic, and that's exactly what I like in my clothing. The next brand is Our Legacy, or Our Legacy, depending on how you pronounce it. Now, Our Legacy is a little bit hit and miss for me. I think the overall style of the brand isn't really me, but their pieces are so versatile that you can really make them your own. Their pieces are quite smart looking, but you can easily dress them down, which is exactly what I like to do. I like to wear smart pieces and then dress them down. That's kind of my style. And they're another brand who have that slight oddness or slight edge to them, and you're probably sick of me saying that, but at least I'm consistent with the brands that I like. I just love a bit of edge. Not the guitarist from U2 though, nothing against the guy. I don't know him, but yeah, I'm sure he's a top lad, but not the Edge from U2. So those were the higher mid brands. Let's move on to the lower mid brands next. And the first store I want to talk about is COS. I've been shopping at COS for years and years, and yeah, they're great for basics, and they have to go on this list. But just like Ami, they're another brand that I feel are stuck in a bit of a rut at the moment, and they need to spice things up a little bit. I just want them to experiment a little bit more with different silhouettes and not just fall back on that boxy, oversized silhouette all the time. I know it's their style, but I want something a little bit different from them. But even though I've just slagged them off, I still think they deserve a place on this list. I think what you get for the price is absolutely fantastic. The next brand we've got is Arket, and I always describe Arket as the slightly boring older brother of COS. He's just a little bit more sensible, doesn't take as many risks, and yeah, sticks to what he likes. Their stuff is really simple, it's really basic, but sometimes that's exactly what you need. I wouldn't want a whole wardrobe full of pieces from Arket. I think that would be a very boring wardrobe, but they're a great brand for filler pieces. And if you don't know what I mean by filler pieces, say if you've got a statement jacket on and you want the focus to be on that statement jacket, but you need something to go with that jacket underneath, so like a basic t-shirt, that's where Arket come in. They provide that basic t-shirt that just complement the jacket, but don't take the focus off the jacket. Next up, we've got Levi's. Now, everyone knows Levi's. They've been around forever, and there's a good reason for that. And you probably own a pair or two of their jeans, or loads of pairs of their jeans, as do I. I owned Levi's when I was a kid, not a goat, a child, but I still own Levi's today. But yeah, Levi's, everyone knows them. Let's move on. Next, we move on to the more affordable brands out there, and there isn't a lot of choice. There's loads of affordable brands out there, but a lot of them are cutting corners in areas which I don't like. But here's some of the brands that I shop at. And the first one we've got is Uniqlo. Even though I gave Uniqlo a bit of a hard time recently in a video I did on them, I still think you're going to have a hard time finding anything better for the price. They keep things interesting with collaborations, so if you can't afford some of the big names, then you get a taste of luxury, like a nice cut or something, for a more affordable price. And if you need a white t-shirt, then you don't want to spend a fortune on them, because you just have to replace them, so Uniqlo have got you covered. And if you want something affordable with a more fashion-forward cut, then Weekday is the place to go. You can actually get some really interesting looks from Weekday, and if you're careful with what you pick, you can get some decent quality pieces. All the pieces I've got from them have held up really well, and I wear them a lot. Also, Adidas Originals are doing some really awesome things at the moment. As I mentioned earlier, they've done collaborations with Gucci recently, and also Wales Bonner, and another brand that I've never liked, who I'm not even going to bother mentioning. But if you like the look of what they're doing with Gucci and Wales Bonner, and you don't want to spend those kinds of prices, then just check out their standard range. You can get some really similar looks from that range. Adidas are definitely dominating the fashion scene at the moment, and they've got a lot on offer to choose from, so make the most of it. But there's so many brands out there doing some amazing things at the moment, and I would have loved to have talked about more, but this video has already gone on for a very long time, so these are the brands that I feel suit my current style the most. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave it a like. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See you later.